Report there by Umaru Kirawa for News Central. So to give us insight into this exercise carried out by the Borno State Government, we also have Umaru Kirawa joining us here. Umaru, thank you very much for joining us for Breakfast Extra for a Sunday morning once again. You are like you're always available. Thank you is what we're trying to say, Kirawa.
Thank you.
Inham, please.
Omar, again, like Mazino said, thank you. Can you take us through what you witnessed on ground and how, of course, the repatriation exercises were carried out, and what was the atmosphere like as the retainees arrived?
Well, it's a very tough and difficult terrain, but it's a happy moment for the refugees because you will see the smile on their faces despite the pain of the displacement and, of course, the travel from Minawao camp to Nigeria. Is a very difficult terrain, and I mean, they've gone through a lot, and I spoke with them one-on-one. They've told us their experience of how they have been struggling with life over there in Cameroon, though the Cameroonian authorities have been very accommodating to them, and they have supported them with food and non-food items, and including farms. In some instances, we went to the farm in which some of the Nigerian refugees used to engage in farming activities. However, there are always other flips of the stories. The pain of the stay there, the loneliness. Some children are born without even seeing their country home, and the terrain. I mean, the road linking Nigeria and Cameroon, really, the authorities really need to work on it. Maybe agree on constructing roads that will link Nigeria to Minawao, Nigeria to Cameroon through maybe the Banki town and through Kirawa, linking road to Cameroon, so that cross-border business can also flourish, since our people used to engage in cross-border businesses.
Kirawa, I'd like to know, first off, thanks to the Cameroonian authorities, they gave the Nigerians a place to stay for the past 10 years. Can you first describe the geography between where they were coming from in Borno State and the Cameroonian IDP camp they were staying at? How easy was it for you to get there in the first place? And what is it like exactly for a Nigerian living in Cameroon inside of such a refugee camp?
But natural is not easy. It's a very difficult experience. It has not been easy for us. I mean, some of us have to go to their pharmacy and get drugs there because of the difficult terrain. Some of our people have to go to the hospital to get drugs, but by and large, it's long awaited. The people have been clamoring to come back home. I mean, one of the women that I interviewed her, she said when she had people going to Nigeria, she usually asks them that if they can come back, let them come back with the sand of Nigeria so that she will see it, so that she will test it. I mean, that is to show how people love this country, despite the unfortunate happenings that are happening in the country. And it's happy to see them. It's made us emotional. I mean, some of the conditions are unexplainable. Some of the situations that women, children are going through we can't explain it because of the emotional. I mean, it will make you to shed tears in some instance. But thank God that these people are back, and we're expecting more to be repatriated. As the government says, more will be repatriated as long as they are interested in coming back home.
Okay then. Kirawa, we see the facilities that they will be moving into. I have questions about that, but we want to take a break. When we come back, I'll ask you these questions. Thank you. We'll be back in a minute. And you're welcome back. It's still Breakfast Extra, our very first conversation this morning. Returning refugees to Nigeria from Cameroon in Borno State, we have our new central correspondent, Umaru Kirawa, who's joined us to tell about the story and a report that he put together to welcome these Nigerians back home. Kirawa, just before the break, we saw the facility that the returning refugees, or returning displaced persons rather, would be living in. And I'm wondering, we've seen these before. We've seen IDP camps that are set up and that are provided for by the Nigerian authorities, but eventually they get neglected. People live there for years unattended to, and this becomes a cesspool for even disease or social decadence. And I'm wondering whether this will not be the case in this place as well. We're hoping not, but what do you think? What has been put in place to forestall any such occurrence from happening?
Well, Mazino, it's good to know that these houses are not IDP camps, so to speak. These houses are provided in collaboration with the UNHCR provided them, and the Borno State Government constructed them. And these houses are given to these Nigerian refugees free of charge. It's not as if it's a new IDP camp that they are being repatriated to. It's houses that it's their own, and the government has given them, and they will have to start picking up the pieces of their lives. And they were given money to help start rebuilding back better, engaging maybe in agricultural activities, because most of the people I interfaced with them, their major concern is to engage in agriculture, and some of them engage in rearing of cattle and name them. So it's not an IDP camp. It's a new community, a new beginning, a new thing for them to start afresh in their own home country. And it's not a new town. It's Banki town. It's one of the well-known towns that engage in cross-border trade, and there are people living there. Even Banki town was displaced, but the government has resettled it. And
so Kirawa, thank you for that clarification. It's not an IDP camp, IDP camp. I beg your pardon. But when it comes to security, you just noted that this town was displaced itself from before. Has anything been done to make sure that the residents of this new town are safe? If they're going to rear cattle, do they have maybe perhaps a military installment anywhere nearby to make sure that the town is kept safe?
Yes, in fact, this is one of the questions that I asked the government authorities, the safety, because it is the primacy of governance. Any government that fails or neglects the security or safety of its citizens, that government should not last a minute longer than absolutely necessary. And that is why I asked that, are they assuring these people that the safety or their security is guaranteed? And the response is, the security and safety is guaranteed, but only God knows what will happen. But since the first repatriation by the Borno State Government, none of the communities that have been repatriated has witnessed any form of insecurity attack, any form of dangerous happenings that causes alarm on the side of the people. Okay. As such, the safety has been guaranteed based on the statement of the authorities, and of course, the military forces are there. It's a border town, and we have Nigerian army there, we have the multinational joint task force, and other security formations, the civil defense, the police, the civilian JTF, hunters, vigilantes. So we are hopeful that the issue of insecurity will not come to play, and that these people will pick up the pieces of their lives, and issue of displacement and being a refugee will be consigned into the dustbin of history.
Umaru, I like the fact that you said only God will know what can happen, but to not stay on that. I think my question is, of course, it probably was an emotional, state, and I'm curious to know what the condition was like for the returning, the arrival of the refugees. But more than that, I think my question is, like Mazino just said, they are being brought back into Nigeria. They aren't being necessarily sent back into a camp, but it's a community that has been, built for them. I'm curious to know, bringing them back and giving them settlement is one thing, but to help them, what are some of the strategies or systems that have been put into play to get them, or kickstart? I know you mentioned that money was given to them, but in kickstarting their lives back in Nigeria, what does that look like? Because you've given me shelter, but how do I sustain myself now that I'm back in Nigeria? Has any plan been put in place for that?
Well, absolutely correct. And if you see the report, you will see that we've highlighted where food items were provided. And in fact, the Borno State Government has appreciated support from the National Commission for Migrants and internally displaced, National Commission for Refugee, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons. The High Commissioner has been supportive to the state government, and this time around too, he has provided food items including over 1,000 bags of rice and assorted food items including beans, millet, cooking oil, and other condiments, including building materials. So it's yes, it's difficult for the families to start afresh, but it's something that they have been long awaiting. And with the little or with the support that they have received, we hope that they will build back better. And most importantly, there is financial support to accompany the food items, which hopefully they will build back better.
All right. And then on my end, I think the one question that I also do have for you is in terms of documentation, because of course 11 years is a long time. Children were born outside of Nigeria. In terms of documentation, what does the documentation process look like, especially because you want to bring children in, bring them back into school and then all of that? Have they been documented? Is the government partnering with, what do you call it in Nigeria, the Home Affairs or the immigration, to get them properly documented and placed into schools, more especially the children?
Yes, one thing that anybody should say is when something good is done, you appreciate it, and when there are negative or unfortunate scenarios, you have to acknowledge that there are problems. The committee of the repatriation has to be commended with regard to the kind of coordination that has been put in place, particularly led by the chairman of the Borno State Subcommittee, Engineer Lawan Abba Kilbe. They were able to coordinate and then work alongside with different agencies, organizations, and non-governmental organizations. First, when these refugees are brought back, some of them that have their national identification registration, some of them that do not have, they are registered. And those children that you see are also registered. They were also, bank accounts were also opened for them. And in fact, that is where the financial support are being sent to them. And other registration too were also done. You can see members of the Red Cross and other, the Katai, I mean, name them. So many organizations are there and they are providing services to these people. That shows the commitment and the kind of coordination that was able to be achieved on this repatriation exercise.
Umaru Kirawa, I want to say thank you very much for actually bringing us such a beautiful reporting piece. And it's so much being done by the Borno State Government, especially after years of banditry in that region. But seeing them come back to life and help the Nigerian people also, for these people coming back to Nigeria from Cameroon, regain their lives. It's a beautiful effort, and thank you for covering it all the time.
Thank you, Mazino. Even myself, I never thought I will be in Nigeria because I nearly ran. When at the peak of the insurgency, I nearly left this country.
So it's a personal thing. It's a personal thing for you as well. It's not just you reporting. It's actually you actually lived these instances.
Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you once again, Umaru Kirawa. The return of these families marks an important step in Borno State's recovery from years of conflict. Our repatriation offers hope and also a sense of closure. After more than a decade of exile, long-term success of this process will depend on sustained support, security, and of course, livelihood opportunities for these returnees. For now, we'll continue to put an eye on what's happening in Borno State, and of course, we'll have Umaru Kirawa to always help us do that.
you.